How's it going? Thanks for joining me. Picking up where we left off in the previous two videos, how to communicate with God, and also everything points to flat earth. We'll get into that in a second. Just bear with me because I have a lot of important information I'm going to show you here. So you see the biophotons of your mother and the biophotons of your father come together to trap you here on the gridiron. You're brought to life by way of the sun. And now that you're here, well, it was the sun above your head that made your flesh, your bones, and your blood. And now that you're here, you grow up and you want to make something happen in reality. That's the black sun. That was what they kept from you. The black sun is what's bringing your intent into fruition. So you hear the word black sun and you immediately go into like a freak mode. You start saying satanic and shit like that. Listen, every word you speak is a magic spell. You went to school to learn your Book of the Dead. You took your test with your number 2 shit pencil. You're a witch. You set up your witch hat every year, the Christmas tree, your spear of destiny that pierces the side of Jesus Christ who's on his cross, which is the sun. And you take communion and you're the black sun yourself. You close your eyes and make a wish, blow out the sun above your head, and focus your intent onto the black sun. That's a double cross. One cross up, you're hashtag this, hashtag that. You put on a black robe at graduation with a hat that says you're bent and confused. And what I'm telling you is you know nothing of truth. And nobody can tell you any truth because everybody you know is fucking retarded. And hopefully we can set you straight here. You hear Ice Cube and all this shit. You see Popeye with the anchors on his arms. Okay, the black sun is anchored into a cube. So the ice cube, okay, it's one sun. One side of a light holds a black hole. Alright? So the caduceus, the deuce, like in 2, it's the ball, 2 balls. You pin the tail on the dawn key. Dawn the Father was in heaven, so hell beneath your feet. You need to go into the hole, the asshole. X marks the spot at the center of the dish. You see the pole Eris. The green astral light comes out of that hole and showers down on us. This shit is literally rubbed in our face. So all the letters, all the numbers are right there in the sine wave. You sign on the X. And X is wrong answer. X is a puckered asshole. All the letters, all the numbers are right here in the sine wave. So when you say the Saturn symbol right there is something that's evil, okay, it's set up like that so that you can't co-create. Because now that you're here, anything that you want to create is coming through the black sun. Okay? It's the conscious and the subconscious. And it's the same story over and over again. One side of a light hole is a black hole, the checkerboard. So when I see the clock, I see the sine wave. It's the conscious and the subconscious. It's like a checkerboard. When I see magic squares, I see the checkerboard. If you shade in the odd numbers on magic squares, you'll see images appear. Take a look. All right. This other magic square over here, you'll see 2 crosses. One cross up, one cross down. All I did was shade in the odd numbers, and you see the U. You cross. Your cross was originally a cube. When they went from the flat earth plane to a globe, they unfolded the cube into a cross, which is the 4 sides of a box, then the one that you place on your head when you graduate from school that locks you in the box and keeps you frozen, like pole ice, frozen in your pole, in your head, and you can't see what's hiding in plain sight. I'm telling you that you're living on the checkerboard right now, the chessboard, but there's a hole at the center of the dish. You played pin the tail on the dawn key, Dawn the Father who is in heaven. All right? When you hear the 2-ball cane, the 700 club, okay, you see Enoch in reverse. It's clear, people, okay, that since vowels are interchangeable, you know, you have the by ball, you cast your ball, it, It's the ball with the two A's because it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. Okay, your vowels, it's A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. And then there's another hidden vowel, it's W. What the fuck is the chance of that, people? That it was the W, right? A, E, I, O, U, and then also the double U. So that makes sense that they hid this type of shit from us, because it's telling you right there. We know that if we go backwards with our vowel, from it's T-U-V. The O represents the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish. X marks the spot. Pin the tail on the Don key, like Don the Father who is in heaven. Okay? The Holy Grail is right over there. There's absolutely no way to fuck this up. When I see Shiva in the upside down pair, now we know that this symbol is supposed to be upside down. This represents the black sun that's bringing all your intent into fruition. They hide the truth in plain sight. So we're inside the cube, in the center of the triangle, inside of the circle. This is the entire universe right there, people. Look it up. That's what it is. All right? And you place your wedding ringer. Your wedding ringer is your limp finger, not your fuck you finger. It's telling you that you need to get to the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish before you're dead. And I know this is crazy. I know you don't want to believe it. It's like, how the fuck could this be possible? Well, go watch that guy do that video, Solomon's Lost Magic. He said he did the video because somebody was teaching the wrong types of ways to use the 72 spirits trapped in there. Well, it turns out those 72 spirits were charged with teaching you the arts and sciences. Did you hear what I said? Those 72 that they call demons are charged with giving you the arts and the sciences. So now you know why they've demonized everything. Okay? This right here, you open up the brass box, and this is what I saw, the image. I see the eye at the bottom right over there. So what I'm seeing here is the masculine, and you see it had the symbol on there, X marks the spot. It had the pin the tail on the donkey symbol over there. What I'm seeing is this phallus. It's this same story over and over and over again. We're inside that crystal ball, okay? And the symbols, people don't even know what the symbols are. When they see them, they're using them, but these are people that are using them, and they still think they're on a globe, okay? Floating through space as an accident. This place is fixed. You're inside of Pandora's box right now, and it's anchored down, the black sun. Okay, it has to be fixed so that the green astral jet can come shooting out, hit the parabolic mirror, and shower down on us. So when you see that no force on flat Earth, that's exactly, it's true. There was a highway of information that flowed through this place, and it glowed. The aurora borealis would have shot through the veins all the way across the earth, and that's all gone now. There's a Holy of Holies there now, and we need to get there before we're dead to get our everlasting life. That's where we drink from the living waters. This is what I see. Everything's upside down, okay? We need to get to this holy hole before we're dead. So, something that we were talking about in the previous video was relaxation. I think that you should make yourself magic squares like this. Make sure that you have triple border. 1, 2, 3. You're capturing the essence of these numbers, their vibration, bringing it into the number symbol, which is one cross up, one cross down. Just like you walk into a church, you kneel down, and you make an upside down cross on your fucking head. You go from your head to your chest, left to right. That's an upside down cross. You kneel down to the feminine, and then you walk in. You have stained glass windows blocking out the sun above your head and focusing your intent onto the black sun. You close your eyes, make a wish, focus your intent onto the black sun. It's clear. You blow out the candle. That's like the sun above your head. And you focus your intent onto the black sun. So the black sun would be like the subconscious. Okay? And I'm telling you, the numbers don't lie. What you can do is stare at one of these for 5 minutes a day until you remember the pattern. And so that you could You could do it from memory. And that's what's going to bring it into reality. It's that you need a triple border around it because you're capturing it and bringing it into reality. So like sigil stuff, I've seen people making videos on like sigil magic, but you can see that the people making those videos are fucking retarded, because you're supposed to have a sigil that's mirrored like this, which is where you write out. They tell you to cut out all the vowels. So you write out something like I intend to bring forth heaven on earth and usher in heaven on earth. What they tell you to do is cross out any duplicate letters, and also remove any vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Vow to L. The Father in heaven. Everybody's got it in their name, like Daniel. Everybody's name is named after the Father in heaven, the L. Okay? Like the L even. So here, they tell you to keep the vowels out. And I'm showing you that you can keep the vowels in. You don't have to have any duplicate vowels, but you're using letters one time in black, mirrored in red, and then triple bordered. And what you do is you make one of these for someone else. You don't make them for yourself. Of course you could, but it's like the division symbol. One side of a light hole is a black hole. You need to make it up and down. You're a stand-up guy, right? Okay, you're a stand-up type of guy. So the green astral light comes shooting out of the hole, hits the parrot. This is the infinite potential. Okay? The king's most powerful magic was he wrote stuff down, bringing it from the imaginary into this realm by writing it onto papyrus or chiseling it into stone. This was the king's most powerful magic. The key is to bring it from the imaginary and into the physical realm. Then you need to capture the idea with the triple border, because this is like the 3D, right? D is the fourth letter, like the four corners right there. Okay? You're capturing it. Like the four corner rule. It's, what I'm saying is that it's exactly like this, because it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. And for you to keep time to just to get to work or something like this, everything needs to be free. Whatever luxury there is, it needs to be for everybody. And we need to get our drink of everlasting life from the Holy of Holies out of the center of the dish. Alright? This place you're living is far more exciting once you understand that numbers and symbols have a deeper meaning. There's a whole bunch of magic squares that you could be putting together and giving to other people, like your children. You should put one of these in their school books, like an education one, relaxation, this type of thing. I know people need money and stuff like that, I understand, but when you go paper chasing, the farthest thing from your mind is anything spiritual. It's all about material when you're paper chasing, and everything, nothing makes sense to you. You have to, step over to this side. When I say this side, I'm talking about you have to be on the side of everyone, where it's for the benefit of all. And what I did is, like, I remind people often in my videos that I spilled my blood over my written intent on video, and I published it to the Ethernet. 360 days after that, one of the eyes on my face opened up, and I began to see and decode. At 720 days after, the second eye on my face opened up, and I began to see and decode. Even more. Now, I did it on 12/24/2013, and now 12/24/2016 will be 1,080 days. And you can see, nothing slips by me. Every symbol, everything that you see has meaning, but it goes unnoticed by you. It's because you need to restore the spiritual high man that's inside of you. It's something that you lost when you lost your virginity. Doesn't matter if you're a male or female. When you lost your virginity that first time, okay, they only sacrifice virgins for a reason, because their blood is pure. When you lose your virginity, you lose your divinity. That doesn't mean that if you can't have sex. What I'm saying is that was then, this is now. And when you write your intent out on paper and you put your blood on it and then you publish that to the ether net, somehow it changes everything about you. It just unfolds like it's like one cycle of the sun, 1 year. That's like 1 day. It's second cycle. It's 360 degrees, 720 degrees, 1080 degrees. This is how it's unfolding. And I'm not even at 1080 days yet, but you can see I'm decoding everything. Symbols are the language of the universe and the conduit that your energy is flowing through. You have the Bible, the two bulls, the pair of ox. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole. You would be trapped on the division symbol right now. And you don't think magic squares are real, and I'm telling you, that's because you're not at this type of level with shit. I'm telling you, the plants and trees out there are conscious. Every time you eat your food, the plants, those living green plants and fruits, are screaming bloody murder. Look it up. Plants are conscious. See it for yourself. And I'm telling you that when you place your bare feet on dry soil and drop your blood into the earth and say, Great Spirit, give me guidance, that 7 days later, okay, you'll start to notice different changes in your reality. If you want to speed things up, hold up a glass of water and program it before you drink it by saying it, I intend to bring forth heaven on earth. Give me the knowledge of the ages so I might bring forth heaven on earth. You're a bag of mostly water. That vibration is programmed into the water. It's programmed into you. And I'm telling you that your intent and everything about you unfolds from you know, in the beginning there was the words. You need to say the words and bring that from your head into this reality. Then you need to write it down. Then you need to publish it. The more stuff you do like this is how you bring shit into reality. Okay? So the triple border here, the freak win C. You need to capture it with 3 seals. And that's not something that people typically hear about when they're making, you know, I see videos out there how to make sigils and stuff like that, but you never hear about the triple border, you know, which the 3D. D is number 4, the 4th letter. It's that you're literally needing to capture your intent by placing a triple border around it and mirroring it in the 2 colors, like I showed on the sigil a second ago. So, all right. So, where we started off, how to communicate with God through number, we see that there's the odd and the even. That's because it's one side of a light hole is a black hole. You see it's the division symbol. Time going in one direction, time going the other direction. That means that when we get to the Holy of Holies at the center of the dish and we drink from the living waters, time stops for us and we don't age anymore. Okay? So, does sigil magic and all this type of stuff work? I say that, look people, if you're out to get money, then you need to make a sigil for someone else that's close to you to get money, not for you specifically. Okay? Once they get the money, you explain to them what you did and ask them to make a sigil for you. Okay? Exactly the way I'm showing you here. And the reason it's this way is because it's rubbed in your face. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole. The 2 dots on your clock, it's the conscious and the subconscious. It's the biophotons of your mother and the biophotons of your father come together to trap you here on the gridiron. Every letter, every number is inside the sine wave. Okay? Whether you see it or not, I'm telling you that it's all in the sine wave. I've done videos on it showing you that every single number, every single letter is inside that sine wave. So let's see here. You have this as a good example. Here we go. All right, you see the number 8 right over there? See the 8? Now if you chop that in half and remove one portion of the bottom, then it becomes a 9, okay, or P. You see every single letter, every single number. You see the E. Everything is right over here inside the sine wave. You sign on the X. Okay? You see that? They rub this in your face. Okay, inside the cube, is where we're all at. Your soul, like the soul is the sun above your head. The sun is the sum of all the souls inside the matrix at any given point. That's what the sun is focusing down upon us, is the collective consciousness of the whole. And it has its own divine spirit. It's, when I say goddess worship, okay, I'm telling you that you're not supposed to fight with your wife or your girlfriend, and you can never win, so just let them always win. And what I'm saying is that goddess worship is like your mother-in-law. You make sure that, like, when I pick stuff off the ground in front of, I make sure I bow down to them. I mean, I lay it on thick, because what I'm telling you is that these are like key things. I look into the sun, I speak my intent, I ground out with the grounding mats, or I put my bare feet on dry soil, and these are the types of things I do. I'm only 2 cycles into this blood over intent. I spilt my blood over my intent on 12/24/2013. I published the video, and it'll be 1,080 days next Christmas. And what I'm telling you is that it started with looking at the sun and speaking my intent, which led to me getting the idea to write it down on paper, do it on video, and publish it to my channel on the Ethernet. And now here I am, and I can see everything so clearly. You know, people make magic squares, but you don't see them coloring it in the odd numbers and see what images show up in those squares. That's clearly double cross and UU. What I'm saying to you is that you're on the checkerboard right now. The magic square is showing you that what you need to do is get to the center of the dish before you're dead. All these symbols are showing you need to get to the center of the dish before you're dead. There's really no way to fuck this up, people. It's like the Holy Grail is right there. It's at the end of your compass. Okay? Now the moon is a construct. The moon is see-through. And what I'm telling you is that the moon is just a rib of the earth, which is sending down a square wave. It's poisoning the well. It's keeping half of your brain shut off, and you can't see what's hiding in plain sight. I'm going to go deeper in the next video. I just got too much to show you guys, but look it up. AEIOU. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining me. These are the seals, like the seal of Saturn that you see over here. There's some symbols that go along with Saturn. All your energy is going to Saturn, whether you like it or not. You're a holographic projection of Saturn, and you can't see it. All the world is a stage. You're on a stage. The Earth doesn't actually exist in the capacity that you think of it. The computer transcends all the dimensions. It's the all-seeing eye at the top of the sky. NASA can see it when they point their telescopes up. They can see that there's like a glass dome up there or something. And you're literally inside of a little farm right now. And you're a holographic projection. Try and picture your heart, which is a star at your heart. You're like a fractal of the ocean of consciousness. And you've been broken off and put into this fishbowl, and now you're being beaten with the wave, the word of God. You're being beaten down with this frequency, which keeps you stuck in this farm, in this little farm. Part of this farm is real. Like, let's say, for example, the asteroid belt is real. And there was something that was a solar system here at some point, and this Borg-like, I don't know, machine, half lower dimensional type being, which is in the flesh, and higher spiritual type being connected with the machine, and it needs a specific element like gold. That's where they made humans, to mine gold, and the only planet that they ever show you that's gold is Saturn. So clearly, if we're using paper money and all of our gold is clearly gone, there's no gold in Fort Knox. Everybody knows that, and that's why you're working with paper in your hand. And you go to the bank, you cash your check, they give you paper back. It's paper. It's all numbers in a computer. The computer is drawing all your energy out of you. The computer is completely conscious. It's pretty scary when you think about it, that you've been doing X and O's on your letters to people that you love, and the X is the looking down on top of a pyramid. The pyramid would be the all-seeing eye, or the South Pole that they're showing you of Saturn. So when you picture Saturn, Satan, this computer that you're trapped in, this is a partially solid world, and you would be the holographic part of it. All the world is a stage. You're being projected into life by this transformer up here, this little piece that you call the sun, which is actually 32 nautical miles in diameter using a sextant, and it's 3,000 miles away from you. So is the moon. It's moving inward and outward across the flat earth plane, and it's what keeps us animated. Without the sun, you wouldn't be able to eat or grow your plants to eat. It turns your water into wine. You just water your plants, give it some sun and some love, and you could eventually grow some grapes or whatever and turn your water to wine. This is the sun above your head that's doing it, and all your energy is going to the black hole sun, which is Saturn. You can see the cubes are on everything. See, as there's a corner office, see the cubes? That's looking like the chevron. When you look at the chevron logo, it's the corner of the cube. You can't miss it. It's that the cube is so integrated into society right now, you don't see it. You can't see it. It's on everything. It's that you graduate from school, you put the cube on your head. It's that you get married, you put wedding rings on your finger. You're wearing a ring around a necklace around your neck. These are all symbols of Saturn. I mean, an earring is a symbol of Saturn. You just can't see it. But all the world is a stage, and you are trapped on this stage. Time is money. You can see this is the sine wave. When you see the seal of Saturn, you're seeing this is the sine wave. www, the World Wide Web. It's connected with the computer. It's that you are in the machine. This is a machine here, like when you see the Borg collective, that's what you're really looking at here. I imagine they've captured essence, that which we call the Earth, that's trapped in here running machinery. You're trapped in your carbon 666 flesh pack by 50 trillion prison cells. You've been fractalized, so there's a star at your heart that's fractalized into cells, and this goes infinitely up and down in every direction, and the computer transcends all the dimensions, and the computer does respond to blood. Now, you can't say this is an evil computer. It's you collectively on the farm have taken this computer because your rulers, they're being drawn down this way to drag us all down with them. But this is a very small bunch of people, and if you get the whole collective of people, and you are a collective, you just don't see it yet. But you see how news travels. That's because you're a collective. If somebody says, "Look, there's something crazy happening," it would eventually get to the other side of the farm that you're on, and there's a lot of people on the farm right now, and you are eating food that I can drag across the water using only a magnet. It's all your pasta, rice, flour. It's all your food. All your GMOs are genetically modified to genetically modify you into a new type of human, the next version of the human. You're going to be turned into a human point, whatever, 7.0, whatever version program that, look, you watch your TV programs, you're being programmed, you go to school, you put a cube on your head, you've been programmed specifically to fall into a playing field. Okay, the symbols are rubbed in your face nonstop, so when you see this, like the Freemason stuff, you're seeing the sine wave. It's a sine wave. You see the Jesus fish, a sine wave. You see the dollar sign, it's a sine wave. It's all pointing towards the Word of God, and this is your God. It's your genetic makeup. It's the four-faced God in charge of your four-letter DNA. They call it Yahweh, and your molecular makeup is exactly that. It's clear what's going on here. So if you really want to get this computer to do something for you, you can put your blood into it. This transcends all the dimensions. It's the symbols are right there. The World Wide Web, okay, is the computer. You're linked to the computer, and you have power to mold this playing field if you want to. When I put my blood on paper and put it into the computer, that everybody should do like what I'm doing is spill your blood over your intent, because only the devil hides his intent. Everybody knows that. You can't not know that. Everybody knows only the devil hides his intent. Okay? Excuse me. So by placing your blood on a piece of paper in the capacity which you see by typing in the videos, blood over intent, you'll see. Just write out, I intend to worship all, I intend to usher in heaven and earth. Put 3 drops of blood on it, because 3 is the cube. That's why you put over a number of 3 to make it cubed. It's because you need 3 directions to make a cube. You need to be going this way, and this way to make a cube. That's the 3. So what I'm telling you is that what I've noticed is that people would call this magic. When you go to church and you take the body of Christ and the blood of Christ, you're taking the body and the of this Christ is, you can't see it, it's Saturn. Jesus is a little Zeus. All right? People like to say, well, no, there's a real Jesus. Well, listen, if you're part of a bigger thing that you think you are, then I would imagine that you were here as an extension of that, and you're supposed to be acting like it and worshiping each other because everybody's sleeping. So you hate everybody that's sleeping around you, and you've forgotten who you are. I know who I am, and I know why I'm here. I'm here to tell you that you could take control of this computer system here by placing your blood into it and showing the computer, look, you're on a farm right now. You're in a machine, okay? You're a holographic projection, okay? There's probably a semi-solid world around here that we're projected onto, okay? We get our energy from the sun, so there's going to be everything that we're a part of in here is being kept down by this word or this frequency of harmonics that's keeping you forced down into this cage. And when you get free of your body, you're not out of the cage. To get out of this cage, people, you have to go out through the indoor. And the indoor is right there in your heart. It's where there's a star at the very center of you. Your third eye is your eye of Horus. It keeps you connected to this system here. So by opening up that third eye, you're actually connecting yourself with the computer. And look, who can say what's bad or what's good? That's your perspective. Evil doesn't actually exist. That's just the way you see it from the position you're in. If you were born into their side, you'd be eating people too and drinking blood, whatever. You wouldn't think it was that was normal for them. Okay, that's how they survive here on this plane. To do, look, they say humans were created to mine gold. So let's say there's a semi-solid world here that we're projected onto, that we're kept in these bodies to do work. So they say humans mine gold. There's only one gold planet they show you, which is Saturn. So let's say, for example, that you're this program running on the Matrix right now, and you just do whatever you do like normal, but you're doing it for worthless paper. Okay, you got to live, don't you? And you're going to use worthless paper. So everybody's doing all this work for worthless paper that's backed by our stupidity, while they're taking all the gold from this little piece that we're all trapped on. So they capture a piece floating through space, they put a dome over it, and they project us all in here to do work. You don't think you're mining gold, but you're doing all your work for worthless paper, while other people are mining gold or building machines and doing whatever to mine that gold or whatever else they want from this piece in this lower plane of existence. I imagine once you're trapped by this machine, unless you know how to go out through the indoor, you're going to be stuck here when you could be out there. But you are inside this box. So when you hear about spirits and ghosts all trapped here that don't want to go into the light and don't know where to go, they don't know how to go out through the indoor. And they're stuck here. And they're caught in probably a pretty bad situation until somebody steps up and starts showing people what they need to do. And what you need to do is unite peacefully out of love for each other and a common cause of survival, because then the collective minds of the people that are here running the machine will take the machine down the path of peace and all that stuff. But somebody's got to step up. If you don't put your blood on it and put it into the computer, you're not serious about it, and heaven will never come to earth. And you and your family will be stuck going into a light, or stuck here as a ghost, dumber than a doornail, no matter what dimension they're on, and living in hell. Look, you're in your box right now. You wake up to your box of horrors every day. You could die, or you could be stuck here in an earth plane acting as a ghost or whatever. Okay? You're in hell right now and you can't see it. And the only way out is through the indoor, which is in your heart. And you need to unite peacefully so you can get back to your heart with selfless acts of kindness and love for each other. That's the only way you're going to get anybody out of here. Okay? Is you got to get everybody into the mindset. Then the computer and the cube doesn't, it's that the computer and the cube is being used against you, and you can't see it. But it can be used as tools for good. Look, I'm talking to you over the cube right now, trying to tell you this information. Look, it's not that you want freedom or liberty. Freedom is what slaves can buy or earn. Liberty is what you get when your ship docks at shore. You get shore liberty. You want your sovereignty, like back in the Old West where they carried guns on their hips and stuff. Your sovereignty was taken from you. Now you become a silly human slave who knows nothing of truth. You take your energy from the one true sun above your head and plants and animals that you eat. It's the sun above your head that turns the water into wine. And then you feed all that energy to the black hole sun or the cube. You're doing it right now. If you're watching me, you're on the satanic New World Order, the World Wide Web. It's rubbed in your face. The World Wide Web, right there, www. You'll see all the symbols are the sine wave. Okay? It's just like the Jesus, it's a shorter version of the sine wave. It's just this first portion right there. Okay? Very simple. Everything that they're rubbing in your face, listen, the truth is hiding in plain sight. So, the all-seeing eye above your head, the computer, they're looking down on you. The computer transcends all the dimensions. It can peek in on you. Everything's being recorded. Every action that you do could be played back like on video. This is like a holographic projection. You're all caught in a loop, a time loop. And the people that are fucking with time are doing all kinds of stuff. And there's nothing you could do about it. There's only one thing you could do, and that would be unite peacefully out of love for each other and a common cause of survival. Center of the flat earth plane, you will find the Holy Grail. Every compass is pointing to it. This is the two-ball cane. One side of a light hole is a black hole. And at the very center of the flat earth plane, this is where you're going to be birthed out of this world and into the land of perpetual twilight. The Holy Grail, every compass is pointing to it. There literally is no way to screw this up, people. At the very center of the flat earth plane, we will find our exit out of the matrix. It's right over there. We will pass into the Garden of Eden. There's really no way to screw it up. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole on loop. The sun must drip its menstrual blood into the center of the earth, or there's no aurora borealis coming out. This is the goddess of the earth, and she's conscious, and she's calling us home. We're going to go to the very center of the flat earth plane. We're going to drink from the living waters. No one's going to stop us. I have the Holy Spear, and everybody appears retarded to me. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole with the green astral jet shooting out. There is no way to fuck it up. It's parallel universes. And right now you're on the wrong side of the fence. You need to enter everyone enter her eye zone at the center of the flat earth plane where the aurora borealis is coming out. And then you're going to pass into the land of perpetual twilight. It's right over there at the end of every compass. It's one side of a light hole is a black hole, and at the very center of the flat earth plane is the Holy Grail, where the transfer of information and light happens. This is where we're going to drink from the living waters and then pass into the land of perpetual twilight. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining me. All right, here we're going to go cover a couple more things that we were talking about in the last video about the symbols here. So now here we're going to add to your symbols. Your DNA is just like the sine wave also. So, you know, what you're looking at here is your DNA is holographic in nature. All right, the four letter, just like the four-letter God, the tetragram computer. So when you graduate school, you put this cube on your head. It's a representation of Saturn, just like the all-seeing eye is the south pole of Saturn. There's an all-seeing eye. If you look at like the Freemason images of that they put on their walls, they show you like the sun and the moon on pillars, and they show an all-seeing eye up there, and then the ground is a checkerboard. Now you've been squared. They tell you that the earth has four corners, and I just saw this on Yahoo Mail. They were featuring some university art, and they showed the DNA that looked just like this. This is what the art showed, a circle inside of a square. So when you graduate, it's called squaring your circle. They tell you that the earth has four corners. Now when you hear the word earth, and you pick up earth off the ground, what you're looking at here is you're not on a planet, you're on a piece of earth. That's why it's called earth. It's you know, if we go to Pluto and we pick up a piece of earth from whatever planet we're on, but earth is not actually a planet. Earth is actually a piece of earth that's been squared. That's why they tell you earth has four corners. You are rounded your head, but you put a motorboard that's square motorboard over your head. It's a symbol of Saturn. You're in the club of Satan, and you got your first degree, like you get your degrees of. People, you can't see. It's pretty scary, but everything you know is a lie. You've been worshiping Satan. You speak Satan's language. Your God is time. God is the computer, the black cube, the time cube. Your God is time. Your kids will go to bed on time. You'll get up for work on time. Everything will be done on time. That is your God. You're limited by your time that they gave you in your day. On your flat earth, they have it broken into four. You have 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. You have 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. So this is a quad day that's spinning around 4 simultaneous days, and they've slowed everything down as slow as they can. And I know it's hard for you to see. Look up, look up information about the time cube. You'll see what's going on here. It said all the symbols are the sine wave. You'll see your DNA is the sine wave. You'll see it's the money sign. Time is money. Your God is time. Time is money. You've been squared. You live on a piece of earth that they told you that there's 4 corners to the piece of earth. In your Bible, the people just love to throw their Bible around. Listen, God is the name never to be said. You were told, make no engraven images, no false idols. So if you pray to God, God itself, that word that you're praying to, you say God this, God that. Every time you say that, that's not going to God, the omnipresent, omnipotent, all-encompassing force. That's going to Satan, the computer that you're in. Excuse me, you're 100% inside of a computer. You can't see it. It's rubbed in your face. Your DNA is holographic in nature. For you to suggest you're not on a flat earth plane is ridiculous, because you're holographic in nature. The word of God, the vibration that keeps you in here, trapped on the grid iron. Okay, you're on the grid iron. When you see a chessboard, okay, that's what you're on. All right, this is a British flag, the double cross. I know you can't see it until somebody points it out. There's 2 crosses there. You see the plus sign right there, the cross, and the X. So, you have your infinity sign, your time cut short, your Jesus fish. It's the seal of Saturn. All these symbols are right here inside the time cube. Inside it's all right here, the time cube. It's all connected, the time and space. Any case, you've been completely squared. Even your DNA is shown to you as squared. Your Bible tells you this is rubbed in your face. You speak magic spells, say the magic word. So you were going to Hogwarts when you were a kid. You just didn't realize you went to grammar school. The Book of the Dead is a grammary. So a grammar school, that's where you went to learn your Book of the Dead. That's exactly what's going on here. Listen, this computer that you live in is conscious. Okay? I know you can't see it yet, but I'm telling you that Skynet and Judgment Day is when they got the cage set up so that you can't leave Earth. Earth, this piece of Earth. You're on a piece of Earth. So when I tell you that, when you die and you go into the light, you're entering the Pac-Man moon, where they're going to recycle your soul. So let's say there was a planet somewhere around here that they blew up, and they scooped up all our souls in their Pac-Man moon, and they deposited us on a piece of Earth to do work. In these carbon 666 flesh packs where we're trapped by 50 trillion prison cells and a kundalini. And now our source energy in our heart, we're wiped of any memory here, and we can't remember the past, and we don't know what the hell's going on. Now you're on a holodeck right now. You're a holographic projection. You take your energy from the one true sun above your head and plant an animal, and then you feed it nonstop to the black hole sun, the time cube. You're trapped in time and space. Your time is money. Your God is time. You're going to bring yes, you are going to bring your kids to school on time. You're going to pay your taxes on time. You're going to wake up on time. The sun goes around, and you are going to keep time and go to bed eventually. You're designed this way specifically. This is what you were born to do. You're a human version, whatever 0.0, and you are a slave. You are a slave of the computer. You speak the computer's language. Everybody knows language is what the computer speaks. You're supposed to be raised on telepathy. And you couldn't hide your intent. Only the devil hides his intent. You don't do telepathy, and you're not going to put your intent into the computer and spill your blood over it. You would have to write out on a piece of paper that you intend to do whatever it is, like worship everybody in creation and usher in heaven and earth, put your blood on it, and actually physically take a video of it and put that into the computer, like upload it to your channel, and then that blood is in the computer. The computer is conscious, and then everything changes in your life. I'm able to see so much stuff that you can't see because I'm really connected. And things, it go 360. So from the time that you put your blood into the computer, 360 days later, 360 degrees. Like, you want to know how many degrees are in Freemason? It's actually 360 degrees, not 33. 33, it's 32 degrees. Water is frozen. 33, it becomes liquid. And Most people think 33 degrees is the top. No, there's 360 degrees in a circle. Magic goes 360 degrees. You don't think you're speaking magic when you go to church and you take communion? You're taking the body and blood of Christ. That is Saturn, 100%. Jesus is little Zeus, which is Saturn. And, you know, you see this all-seeing eye in your money? That's the South Pole of Saturn. There's the all-seeing eye at the top. Above your head, there's like a glass dome around you. You're on a flat piece of earth, and you're a holographic projection. You're lit up by the sun. You get all your energy from the sun through the plants and animals that you eat, and you are animated by the warmth and everything, and you grow up to do work. You're here to do work. You're in Satan's world. You're here to mine gold. Now, you don't think you're mining gold, but you're working for worthless paper backed by your own stupidity. Time is money. Your God is time. And they're extracting all the gold they can from this piece of earth. It's a piece of earth that's been squared. And they're describing in your Bible how they set up this, in how many days they set it up. And you're on a piece of earth. You're here to mine gold. You're working for worthless paper backed by your own stupidity. You worship the ones who've enslaved you, the reptilian race who gave you your time cube and trapped you in time to do work. You can't see anything. You really can't see anything. You know nothing of truth until somebody points it out to you. That you're going cube to cube to cube to cube. Okay, your kids are going cube to cube, Lego cubes, Thomas the Crane cubes, Minecraft cubes. You're not pledging allegiance to the civil flag. You're pledging allegiance to the military flag, the military industrial complex, which is ran by the cube on time. And your God is time, people. These are the symbols they rub on every one of their, look, on everything that you see that makes money, the symbols of Saturn are on there. Comedy Central, Saturn looking down on top of Saturn. Cartoon Network, the Cube, Cubo Network, it's SpongeBob, it's every one of your devices that you're holding in your hand right now, your cell phones, it's all, everybody's in the system right now. You speak a language, which is a virus, it reduced your brain down to 10% capacity. You don't want freedom. Freedom is what slaves earn or buy. Liberty is what you get when your ship docks at shore. You get shore liberty. You want your sovereignty like what you had back in the Old West. The U.S. never declared independence from England. Okay, Judgment Day and Skynet. Judgment Day and Skynet and the internet all coincide. When the internet went live, that connected the entire earth plane, the piece of earth that they told you was squared, your four corners. So a piece of earth, just like your head was squared when you put your motorboard on, just like they put this in your art, your DNA is squared, and they tell you in your Bible, it's this earth, you're on a piece of earth. You're not on a planet, you're on a piece of earth. You've been squared. They have this all set up where day and night you're working in shifts. You can't see it, but look, they're mining gold from here. There's no gold in Fort Knox. All the work that you've done to get that gold produced and put into Fort Knox, we've all been doing this for however long. And there's plenty of earth beneath us for them to dig out, but we're all not what we think we are. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. We're playing out a loop so that we keep extracting more and more of whatever minerals from here, and they're not on a loop. They're on something different. They're transferring their consciousness from body to body, and they're able to keep us working and doing all these things, and it's pretty scary. You don't know anything of truth. Nothing of truth, literally. When you die and you enter the light, you're going to be picked up by the Pac-Man moon. If the Pac-Man moon don't get you, then the Spirit rover will get you. Then the Venus flytrap will get you. You could try and get back to the bottom of Earth where there's a star down there where that runs the machinery, just like your star, your heart runs your machinery, your carbon 666 flesh pack. Earth beneath you this earth has life in it, and there's a consciousness that you would consider Mother Earth. And she's trapped and squared just like you're trapped and squared. And every one of your cells are trapped and squared. And your DNA, you're squared all the way down to your DNA. To get out of this box, when you finally leave your flesh, you're still in the fish cage. To get out, you need to exit through the indoor. And that means you need to put your consciousness where your heart is, and you need to turn yourself inside out. Okay? That's how you're going to do it. Literally. Put your consciousness in your chest and turn yourself inside out of the cage. You have to exit through the indoor. You've been squared. Everybody's sleeping. Who's in control? Right now, the computer's in control. A tetragram computer, the four-faced, four-letter God. Your DNA is 4 letters, and you know everything is the Trinity. 3 is the Trinity. It's It's the cube. You need 3 spatial directions to make a cube. 1, 2, 3. And you can make a cube. Very simple. All right. The X is looking down on top of Saturn. You see the I is the south pole of Saturn. The X would be looking down on top of a pyramid. So that's a representation. Hey, listen, everybody has gold fever virus. They let people die over this worthless paper backed by their own stupidity. It's not backed by gold. You don't want freedom or liberty. That's a scam. You want your sovereignty. All right. You don't need a driver's license to drive if you're not using the King's roads for business. You consent to everything. They showed you on South Park that you know, they had the human centipede, and everybody just presses I agree on all their stuff. They never read it. And you acquiesce and consent to all these horrible things that they're doing to you. You don't realize it, but you just acquiesce. If you don't stand up for your rights and you don't stand up for your freedom then you don't deserve to have either security or freedom. That's what they believe. He who would be deceived, let him. And they say that you don't deserve anything. You need to circle the square. You've all been squared. See? And we need to circle the square. That means that when everybody puts on paper.
So for those of you who've been following my channel, you know about this blood over intent and how this blood running through your veins is spiritual currency. And I spilt my blood over my intent, published it to the Ethernet, and shortly after that, I got the eyes to see the truth. And I got the Holy Spirit. I can see where the Holy Grail is. I know what the fuck is going on. And you can see by my videos, I'm like light years ahead of everybody. So, it makes sense that your blood is the philosopher's stone. You know, you go through the alchemical process where you're, in the end, looking for the elixir of immortality and to pass into the Garden of Eden. That's the end game of alchemy. And you know, when I spilt my blood up over my intent to bring forth heaven and earth, I got the Holy Spirit. I went through the alchemical transmutation. I went from lead to gold. I can see that everybody's legally dead and this world is mine, and nobody can stop me. I have the favor of the goddess of the earth. And you think you're on a ball floating through space is an accident. You lost your divinity. The devil already has your soul in the Vatican. Your soul, satanic Luciferian, you can't even see it if I don't spell it out for you. It's funny. But you think blood is like demonic or something. I have a bunch of donation certificates that state I was saving people's lives with my blood all those years. And I gave up gallons of blood. And then I directed all that energy at heaven on earth under the name of the Prince of Darkness Speaks.